my name's Julie from So Unique, and I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. Well, welcome to this week's episode. We are on 181, and I am at the shop again because it's Monday, and I had to come down here to photograph everything that I've been making ready for the website. So it's a lot easier for me to film while I'm down here again. So I noticed we've had some more new subscribers, so a big welcome to the channel. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for joining. If you don't know, I run a small online shop and I sell fabric, yarn, a little bit of haberdashery and handmade items, and I also have a little shop on the high street, and I sell mainly sort of fabric, yarn. The fabric's in the other side. I've got two sort of rooms, and cross stitch kits, ribbons, toy stuffing, all that good stuff. So welcome. So this week I've got to share with you some baskets that I've made, some pouches, some book sleeves, and a couple of cross stitch bags. And then when I get back home, I'll talk about the crochet because I've made a bit of progress on that, so I'm going to do that when I get back home. So I hope everybody's had a lovely week. The weather here has been a bit up and down. We've had rain and sun in the same day. It's been lovely and sunny. We've had rain. We've had a few cool days. It's warmer today, but there's a nice breeze out there, so it's not too bad. But obviously the house is getting hot, the conservatory is baking, and obviously we can't have the doors open because of the two younger cats. Salem's desperate to get outside. He does keep escaping. He's like a slippery little snake. So everybody has to go chasing after him, but yeah, I don't know. What have I done this week? Well, I've been in the shop most of the week, and sewing, crochet. I had a weekend to myself, and I had a lovely Sunday of sewing, so nothing went wrong, which was brilliant. So I did spend most of Sunday sewing, and it was lovely because I managed to get caught up on everything that I hadn't done while I was down here, because most of my week's been, obviously we've had customers in, but it's been cutting out and preparing everything ready for sewing. And I apologise for the glare on my glasses. I thought I'd sorted this out before I started. I'll sit back a little bit. So yeah, I didn't actually start sewing till Wednesday. I've been to visit my mother-in-law in the home. She's not doing too bad. I mean, she's worse than what she was this time last year before she went in the home, like, but she's okay. Quite forgetful though at the minute. So I spent a bit of time up there with her. Like I said, I've had the weekend to myself because Kevin took us out to one of her Comic-Cons, so it was a nice quiet weekend for me, which was nice. I had an appointment at the doctor's on Wednesday morning. I think it was before I started work. 2 weeks before that, I'd had some blood tests taken. It's nothing, there's nothing wrong with me. I have these every year because obviously I take tablets for things. And when I looked online to just check the results, it said normal and 2 satisfactory. And I thought, oh well, looks like everything's okay. So I went to the doctor's to see the nurse, and of course you get your blood pressure taken and everything. And my blood pressure had gone up this year. It had gone up last year. It's not high, but it's still gone up a little bit. So obviously I've got to watch that. And they did recommend that I get a blood pressure monitor. So I thought I might have to. And I said to her, well, I've not had anything to cause it to go up, because I know if I have some like paracetamol and that, and they've got caffeine in, then that will put my blood pressure up. The only thing I've had is I've started drinking coffee, and I like iced coffees, and I said to her it has been normal coffee, not decaffeinated. So So she says, well, yeah, not have it from your machine, but make your iced coffees yourself with decaf coffee and oat milk. So I thought, that's fine, I can do with that. So I did have a couple at the weekend and it's really nice. And then the next thing was my cholesterol. Now my cholesterol's been fine. Never had a problem with it. And it's gone up this year. So the first part is 5.5 and it should be below 5. And then I think it's the bad cholesterol, that's 3.5 and it should be below 3. So I am now on a diet for cholesterol. So it's low fat diet, nothing that's got saturated fats in. And I think what's caused it this year is, I've got to admit, I've been a bit of a crispaholic this year. That's the only thing that I really like. So I just sort of had to cut them out dead now. So I haven't touched them for, well, for a week, really. So I have been to the supermarket. I got some decaf Arabica coffee for mainly my iced coffees. We have oat milk, soy milk, almond milk, regularly, more the almond milk than anything else. But the oat milk, Kevin thinks that's a little bit sweet for him, but I like it. And it's actually good for you because there's something in the oat milk that fights the cholesterol, which is good. So I thought that's one good thing because I do like that. I already have decaf tea. I try not to have anything that's got caffeine in. Yeah, so, but yeah, I've had to go and get some Benecol stuff. That's the drinks and the yogurts and the margarine, just to give me a, a boost, really. But yeah, I have to cut the hard cheese out. No red meats, which is basically all meat, isn't it, really? Which, that doesn't matter. I'm not a big eater. I wouldn't class myself as vegetarian, but I do like vegetarian meals a lot. So yes, so there's been a big diet change this week. And I've got to go on to all the low fat yogurt. So my favourite yogurt is the Farge because I have that for my breakfast, whether it's in a smoothie or overnight oats or just with fruit and something. And I need to up my fruit intake, which I sort of cut that down a little bit because of the sugars that were in it. So you can't win. Whatever you have is bad for you in some way. So yeah, it's going to be an adjustment thing, I think, with some things, but we'll get there. But I basically got a year until I go back this time next year for my annual checkup, really, for the blood pressure and the bloods and everything like that. So, and if it hasn't gone down or if it's gone up, then I'm going to have to go on statins, which I didn't want to do with that, but with diet and exercise we might be able to sort it out. So that's my thing for this week. My little moan, I suppose. But there we go. But having said that, since I've sort of got a new diet, Kevin said he would join me on it, so I'm not having to cook different meals. So we'll have the same as we always have, which is good. That helps. Right. Now, I think, well, I'm going to start off with what I've made because obviously I'm down at the shop and this is what I've got to share with you. So I have been making some autumn things this week and I found in my sewing room, I was having a look for something and I found this lovely autumnal fabric, and all it is pale green background, lots of trees, it's got foxes on, toadstools on, leaves on, and it's gorgeous. And I only had a piece left and I knew I'd got it at home because I'd cut some off the bolt ready to make something. I didn't use it, did I? Usual thing. So I've got 3 of these bags and they've all got a lavender pouch. So that's your trees, you can see all the cute little foxes. So this is the small basket, and on the inside it's like a creamed linen look with leaves and blackberries. So we've got 1, 2 and 3. If you can hear that creaking, that is my chair. Yes, somebody stood on it. It was very weighty and promptly got told off for standing on my good sewing chair. And that was about 2 years ago. I was not impressed. They'll never do it again. So yes, I'm left with a creak every time I move. Right, the next one is I found some fabric and it's all cactus, and the inside is the white with the cactus on. Some of them have got little pink flowers, so I've only got the one of these. I've got a little lavender bag as well. I managed to get some new lavender last week, which was good. I have to excuse me a minute, I need to have a little drink of water. So I'm already using my Halloween cup. Oh. And I've also made, out of leftovers, I've only got 2 of these little pouches. So these notion pouches, that's what I'm going to call them. They've both got the same lining in. It's like a batik green and blue. So I've got 2 of them. And then I'd also found this piece of Halloween fabric out. It was just sat on the side at home. Just a leftover strip. Excuse me. And I managed to get 4 zipper pouches. And the background, I think it's a very, very dark brown. But they're all slightly different, I think, really. Yeah, so we've got a green zip on that one, a green on that one, and then that's a dark brown on that one, and a lighter brown on that one. So I tried to pick zips that would go with the fabric, because I must admit I am running out of zips at the minute. I do sell them in the shop, but the sizes I've got, they're more like for dresses and things like that, or small purses, so they're either too big or too small, because I've used quite a few zips up recently. And then I've got 2 more notion pouches. Now this is the book fabric that I've got, and this was the last piece of fabric that I've got, and I'd been saving it, not knowing what to make with it. So I decided to make a couple of these, and the lining is like a terracotta. That's in both of them, and I absolutely love these vintage books. They're really nice. I mean, you can use them for other things, not just sort of in knitting and crochet and sewing. They're useful for anything, really. So now we're on to book sleeves. So I'm going to start with these 2. So yeah, I've only got 2 of these. I'm not sure if there's still one on the website or not, but there is a slightly bigger one on the website. Excuse me. I know I sold one last week, and I'm not sure if there's another one. I can't remember. But yeah, these are just standard book sleeves. They will take just the normal size up to about 410 to 450 pages, I think. It'll be all on the website anyhow. So I like them. Then I've got 2 of the autumn leaves, and these have got the oak leaves and the little berries in. So you can see the little fox there, toadstools. So yes, that's the end of that fabric. That's that all gone now. I love that fabric. And this, right, I've got 2 of these. This is some new fabric that's just come in. It's not on the website yet. I think I shared it last week actually. So it's not on the website. I didn't get it on the website last week, I should say, so I'm hoping to do that this week. And one's lined with autumn leaves with a bluey coloured background, and the other one has got the pumpkins. Oh, I can't show this. The pumpkins and the wheel. So that's nice. And then the next, oh yeah, here we go. This is the pumpkin and the wheel. There we go, that's another one. So that's very pretty with the butterflies on. And this one's actually lined with the autumn butterflies. So I want to make some baskets out of this fabric, and I think I've started to cut some out. I think I started on Saturday. And this one is the butterflies. And then that's got the autumn leaves inside. So they're very pretty. I'm going to hopefully make myself a book sleeve out of my thistle fabric, and probably a Kindle sleeve as well. So I'm looking forward to getting on with that. Right, the next one is this brown sunflower one. I have got this fabric in the shop. It's the, oh, what's it called? Cinnamon Spice, I think it's called. It's got a dark brown background and some white flowers and sunflowers on, which is very, very pretty. And the green leaves match the lining fabric, so that's part of the collection as well. So that's very pretty. And then the other one is same again, the Cinnamon Spice. And then on the inside, the fabric are all the little jars of the spices. So you've got your cinnamon and your star anise and dried oranges and things like that. So that's lovely. So that's all the book cases that I've made this week. I'm hoping to make some more of the autumn fabrics that I've got in. But that might not come. That might come actually next week, but I've got a few jobs to do next week. And the last pouch, I found this piece of pumpkin fabric that I'd got floating around. I thought, now what can I make with that? And I can make a little pouch. So she front zipper pouch, and it's lined with the orange. I can't tell you what size this is at the minute, but like I said, it'll be on the website. So you should be able to get some crochet hooks or something in that, or in DPNs or whatever you want. Little notebook or something. So I think that's quite cute. Just have a little drink. And also I did manage to get a couple of bags made. One's a hoop bat with trick, I don't say it, it's a trick or treat on there, and this has got purple zip, lilac zip I should say, and it's got the lilac liner which goes with obviously the zip and the wings. Now this will take a 10-inch hoop. No it won't take a 10-inch hoop. Hold on a sec. My mistake, I'm thinking of something else. Yes, this one takes an 8-inch hoop with no problem. And there's plenty of room in there. It only comes to about there. But yeah, 8-inch hoop for that. And then the last bag I've got to share with you is this gorgeous tree bag. I mean, look at that. Autumn trees. And that's got a orange zip on, and it's got, well, it's a yellowy orange zip and orange fabric, so it all goes with the trees. And this will fit definitely an 8-inch hoop in. It's wide enough. I mean, I will make some more because this one is wide enough for the 10-inch, but it's not tall enough, so I will make some slightly bigger bags for the 10-inch one. So yeah, what do you think to these? Which is your favourite? Do you like Halloween or do you just like autumn? You'll have to let me know in the comments below. It would be nice to see what people like. Oh, I'm getting a dry throat. Right, well, I'm actually going to share with you what I'm going to be doing next week. I'm going to try and make some autumn, couple more autumn bags and maybe one or two more autumn book sleeves. But what I want to do, if you just bear with me a second, I have got some bags that have been sat here doing nothing, that size. It's going to take me a while, but I want to try and get these on the website. Now these are mainly drawstring bags. There's a few zipper ones. Some of them might already be online, but I've got some that will be in the sale, definitely. I need to clear these off the shelf. So I should have put these on long ago and I haven't. So I'll show you a couple, but I'm not going to show any more because I'll be here forever. I want to go through them, check what's online, and then I will share next week when they're online. But I have got this nice little autumn bag. It's a 100 gram ball of yarn. Got a white liner. It's got a nice deep box bottom. So I think that's lovely, that when people like small projects. And then I've got the little foxes as well. Striped top, white inside. So yeah, so that's going to be one of my jobs for next week. Probably a bit more crochet for next week as well. The blanket's getting close to finishing, but I will talk more about that when I get home. So I'm going to just stop here so I can get some pictures taken of all the products that I've shared with you, and I will be back as soon as I get home. And I'm back home from the shop. I think it's about 4 hours ago since I filmed the last bit. So I've been photographing the bags and everything. So I did all that and came home and I've had a drink and I decided to get the crochet out. So that's what I'm going to share with you now. This is the last lot of squares that I did. Now the last square, it took me a couple of days to do it. Oh dear, because I think Friday I was on a high on Friday because I stayed late to the shop sewing and doing other things. And then when I came home, I just had a drink, had some tea, and I got on with the cleaning because I didn't want to be cleaning over the weekend. So I did all that. And I got Jake to vacuum round for me on the Saturday, and that was the last job. So I didn't go to bed then till it was gone 1. I went straight to sleep, got up next day, went to work, and I was feeling a bit tired on Saturday. So by the time I come home, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it didn't happen. I started the square, got halfway through it, and then I thought, right, I'm really tired at the minute, I could just go to sleep. So about 9 o'clock I decided to go out into my sewing room, and I brought the last of the bags home and the last of the book sleeves home. I got about 6 book sleeves, I think, 3 baskets to top stitch and the little pouches to finish off. So I thought, right, I'll get the iron out and I'll get all the excuse me, oh dear, fleece ironed onto the back of the fabric and just trimmed. So I did that, it didn't take too long. So then I went back in the house, and basically for the rest of the evening I just settled down and watched YouTube, and then I went to bed and had a read for a while. So it must have been getting on for midnight, I think, when I went to sleep. But now I was up bright and early on Sunday, breakfast, washed up, and I think I came out here about 11 o'clock and I spent the rest of the day out here. Kevin and Adele didn't come back till, well, they called in the house at about 9:15, and then they were back off to a studio to unload the car, and they didn't get back into about 10 o'clock. So at that point I was sat in the living room hand stitching the seams, and I'd got 3 left over to do, which I did them this morning, so everything was finished, and I went to bed. I went to bed about 10:30 last night, and I read my book for about an hour, 3/4 of an hour to an hour, and dropped off to sleep. So yes, all them are done. So today, when I got back from the shop, I thought, right, let's make a start on attaching the squares together. Now, I read the instructions. I think I've probably done the V-stitch a long time ago, and it was quite easy to do. And on the first square, it looked really nice. You do 2 edges first. The hardest part for me was joining 2 squares together. I think it took me 4 attempts to get it right. I have got it. So I have done 2. I mean, it looks very nice. My V's aren't quite matched up, so I know I haven't got it quite right, but it was quite difficult on the video to see where she was actually putting the crochet hook to do the V, but I'm not unpicking it. It took me long enough to do it. So yes, there we go. So I've made a start on the joining. So you might see this when I've got enough to show you. Otherwise it'll be when I've finished it. But I am enjoying it. I find it very frustrating trying to join them together though. I know other people can do it easy enough, because a lot of the ladies that are doing the Cal have finished, and they said they loved it, and they'd never done the crochet join, the joining with the V-stitch. So yeah, I think once I've mastered it 100%, it'll be fine. And I think what I'll do is, when I come home from work, when it's quiet, I think I'll probably go and have an hour or so, and just do a bit each day until it's done. I don't want to sit there for hours and hours every day trying to do it. But a bit each day, and then I'll be happy. So it shouldn't take too long to actually put together, which is good. So yeah, so yes, a new skill of joining together with crochet. That's something I've never done before. I've always hand stitched it, or I've actually crocheted it with chain stitch. No, not chain stitch, go on, double crochet, that was it. And yeah, I'm more comfortable with that really. So I'm a bit out of my comfort zone here, but I will persevere. I will get this right. It's the last thing I do. But yes, I do need to check that out and master that join. I think what I'll do is I'll have a look on YouTube and see if I can find a tutorial of hopefully doing the V-stitch and joining together, just to see where the crochet hook goes through. So, yeah. Well, I'm hoping next week to, like I said before, get those bags all photographed and online. So, and then I can, well, I say online, ready to go online, and then I can share them with you next week. And obviously the crochet blanket, I want to get that finished, so I'm not setting myself too many things to do this week. I think I've got 6 autumn baskets cut out at work, which just need the lining and the wadding putting in. So I think that's probably about going to be what I'm going to be sewing this week, because I don't want to overload myself and say, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and then I can't do it. So if I have time, I would actually like to make a start on this. So I think this is something I can take to work with me, and at least get it cut out and get it sort of pinned onto the background. Even if I only get that done this week, I'll be quite happy, and then I can just do a bit of stitching as and when. and I can carry this around with me. I think I just need a bag now to put it in. So I'm going to have to make one for myself, I think. I could do with some toadstool fabric. I wonder if I've got any left. I might make an extra cross stitch bag this week and do that. So I've got a bag to put it in instead of carting it around in a plastic bag. Right, well, I think that's probably about everything I've got to share with you this week. Hope you've enjoyed the vlog, and I hope you enjoy seeing what I've made. So I hope everybody has a lovely week. Hope you managed to get lots of crafting, and I will see you all again soon. So thank you so much for joining me today, and have a lovely week and happy crafting. Bye for now.